It's a weekend of wall-to-wall ball on the corner of Jackson and El Dorado. All right, they played two at Wrigley after a late finish last night. Both teams could really use some coffee. Take a look at this picture. The Cardinals actually sent their rookies on a pregame coffee run to the Wrigleyville Starbucks, and as you can see, easy to spot because they were wearing their uniforms. But the Cubs were apparently more caffeinated.
It's likely to be a side-by-side finish.
So this will probably be the fastest fifth mile has ever looked. And you're racing tonight. Tell me about the race you're racing in.
Yeah, well, we've got the two biggest divisions in the United States.
First-year head coach Mike Popovich, kind enough to take some time out of his pregame routine to join us. I have Butterflies coach, and I'm not even involved in this game. How do you feel right now? Well, every now and then the sports world tends to throw us a curveball, and it did just that at around 1 o'clock Friday afternoon when Illinois Athletic Director Mike Thomas announced that Tim Beckman was no longer the head coach of the football team. Surprising news to say the least because the season starts in just 6 days.
The Friday Frenzy starts right now. His vehicle did hit that rail, and then he took both.
Noah Newman here. Matt Loveless on the Illini beat has given me the keys to the segue that is the Friday Frenzy. Now, it's not often we lead the program with college football, but tonight we do because we had a ball game at Memorial Stadium, or at least we were supposed to. But look at this. Mother Nature threw us a major curveball, and the game still hasn't started, and it will not start tonight. The Illini delivered big time in their 2015 debut against Kent State. After getting canceled last night because of lightning, the teams finally took the field around 1 o'clock today. Bill Cubitt, there he is, making his debut as interim head coach just a week after the firing of Tim Beckman. The defense set the tone early. DeJuan Smoot with the sack. Illinois allowed only 2 yards of total offense from Kent State in the first quarter. A couple minutes later, Wes Lunt to Tyler White. That's a touchdown for the junior from Kalamazoo. Matt Loveless and I took a trip to Mount Pulaski earlier today to reconnect with an old pal for a game of horseshoes and this brand new Bob Brady Sports Challenge. Almost 3 years ago to the day, we introduced you to Steve Bailey, who in turn introduced us to the game of horseshoes with a 26-7 beatdown. Oh, there goes Steve. Good throw. I don't think I've thrown horseshoes since then. That was the last time probably I pitched horseshoes.
I gave you a pair of horseshoes. You're supposed to go out back and drive a pipe or a stake in the ground and practice.
And he gave us some horseshoes, and they're sitting as clean as they could possibly be on our shelf back in the sports department at WA&D. So we're a little rusty.
And there's a ringer. Bailey's been pitching horseshoes for over 50 years, but 19 years ago he had to start throwing with his left hand after losing 3 fingers in his right hand in a freak accident at work.
I was working on a ladder on a circuit right next to it, and I slipped off that ladder and made contact with 7,200 volts.
Steve learned to throw left-handed alongside none other than Springfield's Austin Bailey, who was recently featured on ESPN Sports Science.
I pitched with Austin's grandpa. He started bringing Austin out to horseshoe courts when Austin was about 6 or 7, and that was right after I lost my hand. So Austin and I kind of learned to pitch together, and I used to be able to beat him, but I can't anymore.
We're playing somebody who's an expert in the sport. This is the problem with the sports challenge. We play experts, but we got a chance today.
And at least now I can see. I'm wearing contacts.
Right. No excuse for the eyesight this time.
Let's go. Get in! Oh! At least it was 2 against 1. Each round we had 4 opportunities to score. Steve only had 2. But in the early going, 2 was more than enough for Mr. Bailey. Oh! 3 points. Oh, 5-0. Steve made music with the horseshoes to the tune of a 21-3 lead. But after a little H2O, Matt found his stroke and got us back in the game. Oh, yeah. All right. Just like the Counting Crows song, hanging around. Yeah. It was suddenly 26-11 when Matt applied some serious pressure. 2 back-to-back ringers, 6 massive points, unless Steve could match.
Goodness gracious.
Unreal. 4 dead. Unbelievable. Sorry, man. And that's when reality set in like it usually does in the sports challenge. We had no chance.
It was a heartbreaker. I felt like we were going to put in a little bit of a run. When it got a little bit out of hand, you kind of knew it was going to be tough to come all the way back. I say we made it respectable. 30-11 may not sound like it, but I feel like it was.
Sure, for 2 guys that don't ever pitch any horseshoes.
Well, that was a great game. Thanks for having us out. Let's go eat some cookies and drink some lemonade.
Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.
Over 90 minutes till tip-off here at Assembly Hall. It's going to be tough to top what happened last time we were here when fans rushed the court after that guy down there, Tyler Griffey, hit the game-winning layup as time expired. 2 of the top programs in the Midwest getting ready for their annual showdown here at the Scott Trade Center. Another key in this contest, The bench has to be productive. The bench accounted for as many points as you and I in that game against Cornell. 0 points.
Woo! The reverse. I know he can do that. Listen to the crowd.
Before we got on camera here, you said you don't know how to drive a stick.
Oh, you're
and
right.
I'm really interested to figure out how you're going to.
I've never driven stick. Never in my life. Is this loss the final blow to Coach Weber's career at the University of Illinois? There's a good chance we could find out next week. Mike Thomas likes to make decisions quick, judging from his past decisions with Ron Zook and Jolette Law. And John reiterated numerous times that leaving Ohio was a very tough decision. In fact, when he looked at the pros and cons of coming here to Illinois, there was one con: having to say goodbye to his team at Ohio. The spring schedule came out with all the practices. This is the one we really had circled. The Fighting Illini football team scrimmaging tonight here at SHG. It gets underway at 6 o'clock, and the best part is it's free and it's open to the public. College basketball fans received an early Christmas present today, gift wrapped in the form of an instant classic bragging rights thriller. Illinois and Missouri squaring off in the annual showdown at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis. Check out the uniforms. Illinois sporting the Flying Illini throwbacks. Illini Nation loved them, according to Twitter. After that wild finish, though, it's tied when Nana Egwu slams it home with two hands, makes it 59-57. So Mizzou trying to tie it back up, and they would. Wesley Clark buries it with 17.8 seconds left. 59-59. Here we go. Another thrilling bragging rights finish. Illinois keeping it as time winds down. 3, 2, 1. Rayvonte Rice, let's go home.